Oh, absolutely. You already know.
What's the back? Oh,
I'm thankful, blessed, and Bucky's obsessed.
That's quite the shirt. Well, speaking of shirts, I wanted to go a little on theme here. You can't see from that far, but there's actually all bears. The shirt is just covered in bears. When I first bought it, I thought it was roses, and I'm like, oh, that's a little romantic shirt. But I looked a little closer. No, it's just all bears all over the whole thing. So I thought it was very, very appropriate to be sitting here speaking with Spirit of the Bear. Ethan Keyboard.
Shout it out.
That's Ethan Keyboard. I'm James Sing, or James Guitar, depending on the song.
I'm Dan Keyboard.
Double trouble. So we got double the keyboard and we got double the trouble with singing and guitar. Wow, that is so cool how you guys have two keys in the band. Of course there's bands out there like that, but I've never met a band that actually has two keys play together on stage at the same time. How does that influence your music at all? Did your band start off like that, or was the two keyboards added in later?
It was really like a fluke. It was like we got a gig doing a homecoming dance at our high school, and but Danny was going to college in Boston, and so he's like, I don't think I'll be able to do it. So we got Ethan, and he learned the parts, and he was gonna fill in. Then Dan was like, hey, actually, I'll be in town. I can do the gig. And we were like, you know what? Let's just do it. We have five people in the band now. We have two keyboard players, and now it's just our shtick. It's
your thing.
Two keyboard players.
Twice the national average.
Speaking of things, I've been trying not to get distracted by the thing in your background there. But James, what is that?
Yes.
an old style movie projector?
Oh no, this is my reel-to-reel tape machine.
Oh.
My TAC, which was Tascam before Tascam. So Tascam used to be called TAC, and this is a tape machine from 1973, I think. And it works. I don't think it's plugged in right now.
It's functional. We were going over your origin story a little bit there. We were saying how the first keyboard was introduced, but I always like a full origin story. How did you guys meet? How did Spirit of the Bear begin? And how did the name Spirit of the Bear come to be? I never get tired of hearing how band names are created as well.
Story time.
It's the worst story. It's the worst story that you think, oh, I want to hear the story. It's not that good. So
I want to hear it, man. I want to hear it.
Lie about it.
yeah, we've taken to just making things up, but I'll tell you the real truth, and that is that the band started because me and Dan had a math class together in high school, and I was trying to write songs, whatever, and Dan was the new kid. He had just switched schools, so. We had this math class together, and I found out that he was the kid that had recording gear, at his house, and someone else that liked to make music. And I didn't know anyone else that really liked to make music. So we became friends. We started writing songs, and then we got Jamie, our drummer, who's still our drummer to this day. We called him, and he said something about how he didn't think he'd be able to do it because he had driving school. And we still bring that up.
We were like, no, you're completely just sorry.
He's like, I don't know, man. I'm about to be really busy with driving school. And now, almost 10 years later, we're like, isn't that funny that you almost didn't do this band because you had driving school?
I love how
it's 2 months.
I love how things just kind of intertwine and work out like that.
I know. So that's the loose early origin of the band. And then the band name, we were trying to come up with something, and I think the early idea was what if we do the Gorillas or something, where we call the band we make a character, and then we aren't the band, but the cartoon character is the band. I don't know, something crazy. And we were gonna call it, what was the character's name? It was gonna be a
bear.
Byron Bear. It was a cartoon bear, and we drew him up and everything. anyways, we were like, bear is cool. Let's like stick with that. And then we ended up doing this like, I can't remember. It was like one of us did like a BuzzFeed quiz or like a Facebook quiz that was like, what animal is your spirit animal? And like I think Dan, you got bear, and you're like, okay, what if we all take this Facebook quiz, and if we all get bear as our spirit animal, we'll name the band Spirit of the Bear. So we did all take it. We all got bear independently, and then we named the band Spirit of the Bear.
Damn.
And that's the real story.
That is not a bad story. That's not a stupid story at all. Actually, that I had something lined up in just a little bit that kind of went into that. You know what? We'll pinch back into that in just a little bit. Put a pinch in that for now. But these guys are from Youngstown, Ohio, and in Toronto, I had the pleasure of experiencing and meeting them at the Budweiser Stage on I think it was the last day of your tour, opening for the band Crowded House. A crowded house it was indeed. I always love to get exclusives, and I pray I can get one from you guys. Is there any like fun kind of like highlights or stories from your tour with them? Did any kind of funny stories happen, or funny little tidbits?
Dr. T exclusive.
I keep to myself.
The funniest like story I can think of, and I told like a loose version of this on stage in Minneapolis, but the first day of our tour was we played in Minneapolis with Crowded House, and so the day before that, it's like a 12-hour drive from Ohio to Minneapolis. So the day before that was just like driving all day, and we stopped and stayed in this little town called Loganville, Wisconsin, which is like 2.5 hours outside of Minneapolis. And it was like a tiny town, like population was like
200, I think.
something. Yeah, it was like 200 something. Tiny little town, and like we were like, there was one bar in the town. We went to the bar, and they were like, "Oh, are you guys staying at the Airbnb?" Like it was like the one Airbnb in the town, and so we had this like really nice house as an Airbnb, and we got there and we had like a porch. So we were sitting on our back porch when we first got there, like drinking tea or whatever, and we heard there was a house next door that like was playing music, and there was kids playing, and they were cooking out or something, and they started playing like literally as soon as we got there. We sat down and they started playing Crowded House music like really loud, and we were like, oh, that's weird. Funny coincidence. And then they played like 3 Crowded House songs in a row, and we were like, are they like, do they know that we're like the band that's opening for them like in town tomorrow? Like, I don't know, I think it was just a coincidence. So we went back to the house, and then they played Don't Dream It's Over 3 times in a row.
Let's have some fun.
Words of wisdom.
We've exited this age of verse movies. I'm a big movie buff, and we've exited the age of like Freddy versus Jason, Alien versus Predator, The Grudge versus The Ring. I want to bring it back for just a moment here. Since you are Spirit of the Bear, who or what creature would you pit against Cocaine Bear?
10,000 bees.
Hey, I can see that as
Barry V. Benson and a legion of 10,000 bees.
the Cocaine Bear is just going for some honey and not knowing what's going.
B-movie versus Cocaine Bear.
Jerry Seinfeld as a bee.
What's going on? There's a bear doing cocaine.
What other like random creature movies we've gotten recently?
Meth Gator. I'm pretty sure there's a Meth Gator movie. That
Makes
That's
perfect sense. Just like already dangerous wild animals on hard drugs
exactly. And then
fighting each other.
they have to team up to take down the bees. Boom, that's the sequel. That's the sequel right there. Hey,
For Sharknado.
Sharknado versus Cocaine Bear.
Sharknado on ketamine.
You know what? These are all good ideas. We're gonna need to like write them down, patent them, copyright them right away, because this is gonna be gone. I wanted to go back to what you were talking about before about the spirit animals. I got one more for you here. Which bear is each of your spirit animals? We got polar bears, panda, grizzly.
I'm a koala bear, just
Koala bear, okay. James
Just-
Koala.
chilling out. Or like, is a red panda a bear?
It's not, but I think it's fair.
You know
to be
what?
Included.
It's fair that it's a bear.
I feel like a pretty like a standard like brown bear.
Nice.
Cool. Listen to them on Spotify, YouTube Music, and Apple Music. And follow them on YouTube, Facebook at Spirit of the Bear Music, Twitter, SOTB Music. And follow them on Instagram, Spirit of the Bear. And of course, find merch and so much more on www.spiritofthebearband.com. Who are you, fellas?
We're Spirit of the Bear. And we ain't hibernating on the Dr. T Show.
T Show.